EA Sports, within the game. That was the perfect call out there. Once he got the blocks, he made a move, and he was headed to the end zone.
I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Diddy. He only 2 times from the he out like a light, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. Deep, no ain't no cap in it. I like with a stack in it. I'm bad. Stop it, cause it ain't no acting it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like a I see no biggie. Ain't biting my tongue. I can't be no goofy, no victim to none of my enemies. Like honestly, be sending me talk from a sit that we when I get to me. My check don't discriminate. Still take deposits if you talking Vietnamese. I just be having my way. Only come out with a pay till I say. Urge you wanna be. Don't gotta whip it. Rag on no petty. Lips, I talk with that on your hip. If you ain't gon' rip it up, pop it. Empty the like show me a benefit. Let me dumb it down, Benjamin. When we not equivalent. Really bad, looking so innocent. Bossy predicament. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You mad while I'm getting busy. Country girl running your city. Attitude bad on Diddy. He only 2 times from the he out like a light, call him Ricky. And honestly, it ain't no cap in it. Deep, no ain't no cap in it. I like with a stack in it. I'm bad. Stop it, cause it ain't no acting it. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. Leaving my mark like it. I see no biggie. Call me Hillary, stay at the bank. Making moves like I'm hot in the shank. I'm low key, but I pop out in blank. This bun on my knife, stop trying to look. They do not cover me. Fake, I can't keep no company. Only the real respect my honest. So watch how you coming if y'all under me. I'm with it in Rex involved. All they text and calls. Run me that making no sense at all. They bounce like a basketball. Your boo never come.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. To hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope.
Coming to you from the venue that hosted the Super Bowl back in February of '06. Welcome to Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. 2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Throw right side complete to Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes. First down, well done.
A gain of 30. And the Washington first down.
A run here for the rookie. It's Brian Robinson. 10 more there.
Let's go Commanders.
Now look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing.
Let's go Commanders.
They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make
Let's go Brian Robinson.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Second down and a run by Robinson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Was that the incorrect read or just more an error on the throw by the quarterback?
I lean more towards the latter because it seemed like he was open there, just missed him on the throw.
And a tough one to miss.
Defense.
Now you're dealing with a 4th down. It's a sneak. It's Wentz. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert them.
Big balls.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now this time, Wentz will throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
2nd down and goal. Wentz looking and finding Thomas in the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Commanders are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick and Morty, Rick.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Goff. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it. On 1st down, it's gone. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
Meanwhile, Wentz's throw complete to Dotson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A big play there on the catch and run. 64 yards. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. They tried to get away, but to no avail, and an absolute killer there. A 12-yard loss on 1st and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Sly able to put this one through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now on 2nd and 13, Goff. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. Now a first down throw. Gone. Complete to right. And they'll work this down inside the 30. The Lions had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
Third and 2, gone. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
From the red zone now, Goff. And he'll get this into the hands of Swift once again. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. That one complete. He finds Shark. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They run. It's Williams. And, boy, this is going to be close. That mark looks a little short, and he didn't get there. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And a big gain that time. He's out of bounds. And this will be the final play of this first quarter. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a 1,000-yard rusher a season ago, Antonio Gibson with it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one on the line of scrimmage.
Thomas, the intended target. That takes us from 2nd to 4th down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This pass hauled in by Dotson. And some room to run now. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, and this is where quarterbacks' passing numbers sometimes get a little bit more inflated than they should because this is a short little pass, but it goes for big yardage. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. They showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him now to this point. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. with his first career NFL touchdown. And they're able to add on to their advantage. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Benjamin St-Juste. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
These are the situations that really test a defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On play action, it's Wentz. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the quarter blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. Wentz to the sideline on 4th down. Joey Sly is out there now for the Washington field goal. Sly able to put this one through, and that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out, they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Gong. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. 4th down now after a loss of 2. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. Here we go on 4th. Gone. Throw over the middle, he finds Williams. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. On the counter, this is Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On play action, Wentz. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Play action. Now Wentz. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a first down. Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. Now a play fake. Wentz rolling to his right. His throw complete right side to Bates, the tight end. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention.
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Sly on for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20.
Makes the score. Commanders 27, Lions 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Goff on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
A play fake for Swift. Now Goff. That pass caught. It's Williams finding room at midfield. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I would say just add that one to the total big plays he's already made here in the first month of the year. You've got to think the front office and the coaching staff have got to be excited about what they've seen so far and really excited about what they expect to see down the road.
Now Goff on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. 2nd and 16. Now it's gone. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. DJ Chark, 47 yards. And the Lions get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one good for 37 yards.
This defense is definitely reeling a little bit now. Back-to-back big plays given up. And you know what's all defenses talk about. How do you limit that? Instead, they got hit by 1-2 punch those last couple of plays, and now they've got their backs to the goal line.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Gets this out quickly to Dotson. Touchdown, Washington. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Commanders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It'll be Lions football to start the 2nd half, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect 2nd half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw, Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give. Now Goff steps away. Wright's got it. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Goff now to throw. He's got this complete to Williams. And he is going to have a Lions 1st down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. From the 50, it's gone.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Open man, and he's got Williams. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
Wentz going to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. An effort to get in there and drop it. This defense coming out after the half, and if that play is any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Slot man moves right. On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Goff toward the sideline, and that is a nice catch as he's able to tiptoe his way out of bounds. Calling a gain of a yard, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. The 20. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. That's what they've done all game long.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fair catch. Available at 25-yard line. The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He's got a man complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. There's Goff. And that's out to the flat for Swift. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. Boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
On 2nd and goal, Goff. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Brock Wright from 10 yards out. And the Lions are able to cut into that deficit.
This is why a lot of play callers love play action in this spot. You just want to freeze the linebackers just for a second. Then you got a chance to get a quick pass into your tight end right behind them for a touchdown.
The try here for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. Finding space at the 40, able to slither by. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. Handoff to Robinson out of the shotgun. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. To throw, it's Wentz. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get him.
And he's going to lose yardage here. As they will switch ends as time is run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now at Ford Field as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. So close to an NFL record, but denied by the crossbar.
And you have to feel bad for him, don't you? He squeezed every last inch out of that kick. Oh, I thought he had it, but you said it.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DJ Chark with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 70 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge.
Washington on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Robinson will try to pick it up. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped him, bringing up 4th down.
They throw it out right complete. He cannot wiggle free. They stop him at the line on 4th down. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Play action. It's gone. He'll drop this one off to Swift. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8, so logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Montez Sweat with a tackle.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now gone. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And his kick is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So an interesting call there to take the 3, and I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Washington takes over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
First down.
Robinson with another carry. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance. Reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5. And it brings up 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. On 1st down, it's gone. And that'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 38 yards. And the Lions have taken a 4th quarter lead. Goff looking to throw. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. But the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. He's got a man, complete. And he is going to have a Commander's 1st down, and it is a big letdown there defensively. They somehow allowed to convert on 4th and long. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Wentz. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Wentz to throw. And he will find his man Samuel. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. They He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. To throw is Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
So now you're in range to tie things with a field goal, but they still have plenty of time to work for a game winner, and they're trying to do so. Nice job defensively to force the incompletion there.
This will be caught. It's Samuel. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
No timeouts left. That's a dangerous proposition. Work in the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. Here's second and goal. Now Wentz. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Charles, that drive was perfect, methodical, executed so well, and they grabbed that lead with almost no time left for a last gasp from the other side.
No way you could have drawn up a better final drive, because not only did they keep their eyes on the end zone, they made sure they bled the clock out as well and denied their opponent a chance to respond. That's just terrific situational football to end this one.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Goff. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. One last throw here for Goff. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the Commanders, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.